gotta forgive me. I was trying to fix my phone. So 3 levels of mesh screening up there. This is the other exit out of the backyard. This space I would call unusable space. You can see that it's kind of overgrown. That's for water retention. You can see some of the sandstone that's coming into your backyard, but when your little man is a little bit older, this would be great. I will tell you the first 5-6 years of his life, I would be terrified as a parent to have him out back here. Retention wall looks really good. Usually you'll see these sloping in if they're failing, but these ones look like it's up, up and down really well. You do have a massive yard back here. This tree is alive. It's starting to bud already. This tree is also alive. It's starting to bud already. You got that big old hill back there, and then you can kind of see through that fence. You see how you're seeing into their backyard? If you got a pup, you're going to need to do something about shoring up that fence in a few different places and making it a little bit better. A little bit of grass through here, a little bit of dead areas. I think that used to be a basketball hoop. Pole, cool little danger area for your little man to be climbing on. But that's what boys do. Anyways, let's go on inside and take a look at the house. I've been talking a lot, so I apologize. Really want you guys to feel confident in your purchase. Okay, so coming up, well, you already talked about the stairs and the railings, and those stairs are moving also as I'm stepping on them. The siding underneath the overhang, the porch looks pretty like it's in good shape. As soon as we walk in, we got some vinyl. Now, different vinyls have different levels of quality. Let's see, I don't even think you can see it. There's just the slightest little lip right here. As the vinyl gets older, the top layer will start separating. You'll see little lips popping up. For the most part, got a little peak right here where these two came together. For the most part, not too terribly bad in here. Fireplace. So this is a wood burning fireplace. I love the brickwork around the outside. One thing I'll say is there's a little bit of craftsmanship here where you can see underneath that little tile, a little bit of craftsmanship over here. This probably was carpet at one point. No, maybe not. With where the baseboards are, probably not carpet. But you can see little gaps around there, and there's even a little bit of, that's adhesive right there. Super small craftsmanship issues with that. You got this really cute window here, and I don't think that this windowsill is on straight. I think it dips down towards the window, which, once again, craftsmanship. I'm not seeing anything crazy with the rest of this room. Decent size living room, and I believe this is outside of the basement. This is the only living room on this house. Decent size little living room there. So we come this way, you can see what I'm talking about with the different qualities in the vinyl. You see that, you can see the under laminate of the vinyl right there. And there's a little bit of a lip there. A bit of an under laminate there. Not too terribly bad. Like, we're really nitpicking the floor right now. I'll tell you where I'm not nitpicking the floor when we get to the carpet. These counters are Formica, so frequently what you'll see is this seam right here where the Formica comes together. If water gets into there, this will bow up, and then you'll have like a little peak right in the middle. It's really just a big eyesore. The backsplashes is decent. There's some good storage in here, both above counter and below counter. There's no pantry on this house though. The appliances look current. I don't think they're original to the house. You got a Frigidaire for a stove. You got an LG for the micro, Whirlpool for the dishwasher, and then Frigidaire again for the refrigerator. Decent size kitchen. You can look out into that backyard. Storage would be the big issue I would see. I would hazard to say the way they're intending this has to be set up. Living room up there, right here is going underneath that light is going to be the dine-in or eat-in dining room, and then the kitchen over here. We got stairs going down to the basement. Doesn't look like you can go very far. We'll get there down there in a little bit. It's a little joke. It's cute down there. Carpet bunching. So you see these little spots where the carpet is kind of bunched up. You can see it in there. You can see it in there. That's the last time we're talking about carpet bunching, okay? So there's carpet bunching in here. This is original carpet. I have a guy that can stretch that. It usually is like $50, $75 a room. All right, first bedroom we're walking into. Super duper small. You got a little bit of a stain on the carpet here. I got a guy that can do that also, but super duper small. This is one of those bedrooms that you put a tent in for no reason, because beds will just make the space look really small. Twin bed in here. You're going to be jam-packed if you try to get a full or a queen in here. Looking out to the side, nothing to complain about. Small bedroom, all right? That's bedroom one. Coming around this corner, we got a linen closet right here. Ooh, nothing fancy there. Lots of wear to the entryways to these rooms. Like I said, the carpet's older, carpet bunching. This bedroom's quite a bit bigger. This one I could see absolutely having a full, more than likely having a queen. I think a king might start getting a little tight in here, but it's pretty decent space. With these floor registers, I'll even pull this sucker out. You can see how it's flat on top, but with the floor registers, they get stepped on and then they get crushed, or they put furniture on there and it crushes that in. Air still coming through there, no problems. Okay, we already did the linen closet. Here's the upstairs bath. Just want you guys to see the threshold here. You see how it kind of comes up a little bit. They did it pretty well. It's just something's off about it. Like there's a crack where that screw is. It doesn't feel perfect. And then also little trim on the molding there. All right, this in the pictures right now, it looks darker than it does. You see how that orange is lightening up a little bit? It's not that burgundy burnt orange like the Tuscan feel. It's a little bit more subdued than what the photos look in person. Formica countertops, once again, you got the single basin, a little bit of storage. This is a very large medicine cabinet, and over the toilet storage, you do have the toilet here. Nothing too terribly crazy. A little bit of water's been down here. You can see the baseboard's expanding a little bit. That's what we would expect to see with more significant water on the outside of the house. So expansion down there. Tub looks like it's in great shape. That's a steel tub. Oh, I like the hardware that they have. That's cute. No other real big concerns in here except for this craftsmanship down here. Little crack. Again, just minor craftsmanship issue. Coming into this next room, again, this is a smaller room. I would say you might be tight on a full in here. Twin would go really well in here, though. These are the vinyl windows compared to the aluminum windows that I had pointed out in one other house. You got the views out the back. You got the built-ins in the closet. As far as this room goes, the big takeaways, I would say, is the carpet bunching, and then also this, and I love doing this. I hope you could hear that. So the subfloor underneath the carpet is plywood, and when the screws that are holding that plywood down start back out, the plywood moves, and that's where you get that squeaky sound. So happens in all houses as they get older. I just happened to find one spot there, and then you have that carpet seam. Told you I wasn't going to talk about that anymore. Let's go into the garage, and then we'll head downstairs for that very short trip downstairs. They got double security locks on here, which is really cool. Out here, obviously this is where they've been working from. Typically on that wall over there, you would just see studs. You wouldn't see plywood or anything like that. Up there, you got a little hidey hole. And actually there's a little trapdoor right here to be able to get up there. So a little trapdoor will open up, you can get up there. I believe that is that vent that had the screening on the outside. It's up there. Can't get up there, but that's all right. Door looks a little bit newer. Obviously it has a little bit of paint on it, but the door looks newer. All the work over top of the door looks like it's brand spanking new. And then the walls that match up with an interior wall, those have to have insulation in there. The other ones, this one have insulation all the way up to where you see the green stop, because that's an exterior wall and that's an exterior wall. So those two walls don't have to have insulation behind them, but they might. One other big thing, Listen, I'm in a rental. We are super clean people. We just had a pest control company come out because we have mice that will not leave us alone. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 traps out in the garage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over there. So in the garage alone, I'm counting 10 traps. That's a sign that there's probably going to be mouse activity in this house. And again, it's not a condition of the house or the cleanliness of the house. It's just the proximity to all of this wilderness. Good looking garage though. Let's head downstairs. It's really weird that they have stairs that just goes down to this bookshelf here. But wait, that's not a bookshelf. That's a hidden room. Golly, that's really cool. You will see where the wheel from the door is. You got a lot of wear down there. That's what those wheels look like down here. Super cute. And as it closes, you can, it's not flush. You can see through. So it's not like the hidden doorway that you don't want people to actually know about. It's there just to be kind of cute, I guess. We got carpet bunching down here. Done enough with the carpet bunching. All right, let's take a look at the walls. I see a seam right here, that goes all the way down to here. That could be a sign of settling, as the plywood is, or the drywall is separating from itself. So there's a seam right there, and I think you guys can see the seam right here. Let me get my hand out of there so it focuses. So there's 2 seams right there. Typically, we don't see seams that long. There's another seam right here. Usually when it's settling, it's not the full seam of where the ply or the drywall was, right? Usually it's a different shaped crack. Those ones just look like separation from the plywood. Those seams, I'm honestly not too terribly concerned about as far as settling goes. Up here, you see this little something happened up here. That looks like a settling crack. You'll see them right over top of door frames and windows. Let's get into here. So this is great, a great opportunity for us because we can see the floor without the carpet. More importantly though, we can see the walls of the foundation. So this is the actual foundation itself here. This stuff, bad pour. That's what that is. All the little rocks and they're not filled in, just bad pour. Over here, you do have this linear crack right here. Again, not a structural engineer, but the ones that we're worried about run up and down. So like the foundation cracking this way or that way, not so much cracking this way to this way. Anyways, lots of storage in here. You got GE washer and dryer front load coming around here. This was replaced in 2017, so that is just under 9 years old. The last air duct cleaning was in 23, and I will say I don't believe in those air duct cleaning. And we could talk about that offline. This is your whole house humidifier, I'm sorry. It gets super dry here in the winter, whatever. Oh, and mousetrap. So super dry in the winter, whatever moisture is in the air freezes, falls to the ground, and then you're walking around on carpet and shocking the heck out of each other. That's what that is. In here, isn't that fun? It looks like a little vent coming in here. This is a sump pump pit. Usually they don't have vents in there. It doesn't look like there's water down there, and there's no sump pump actually set up. So, sump pump. Furnace. Furnace looks newer. We'd have to pull permits and see when that was put in. But the furnace does look newer, which is great. Okay, that is it for in there. Let's head this way, shall we? Okay. Understair storage. Nothing spectacular in there, but you do have this. Look at how great the carpet is in here. This looks like brand new carpet because nobody uses that area. All right, we have one room over here. Has the peel and stick floors. Remember I was telling you about baseboards. Do you see this giant gap between the baseboard and the floor that goes all the way around? All the way around until there. There's probably carpet in here at one point. They replaced that with the flooring. Instead of taking off the baseboards to match the flooring, they just leave that gap. I've seen it in tons of houses. You got your escape window here, no problems there. We're still vinyl on the windows. There is, you can kind of see it, that little line there. It looks like something's happened up there. There's no active water damage or anything of concern right now, but you do see that little seam there. All right, coming out of this room, and huge threshold. That is a huge threshold right here. The original threshold's underneath, and then they have another one on top. I like it. It fits really well. Anywho, let's come into the shower. One thing I'll say is the height of the ceiling. That's my hand up against the wall with a bent elbow. I would say it's probably 7 feet tall in here. You do have the shower basin down here. That's supposed to be a hole there. There's supposed to be a hole over here too. Those are weep holes. And then you can see that this just needs to be cleaned up. There's caulking that's not actually caulked to the floor anymore. Doors look great. This wall looks great. I'm not seeing anything crazy on the ceiling. A couple little seams. You see that seam? But it's very squarish. So I wonder if they move things around in here. And then you have the commode over here. I will say, I don't know where I'm smelling it from, but I smelled the faintest smell of like mold or mildew right here in this spot here. All right. This cabinet has water going up through the inside. If you pull this one out, do you see this hole? That's for the pipes in the back, right? So what we kind of are concerned about is seeing down there. And I'm not seeing any damage down there that would cause that moldy smell. And I'm not seeing any water damage in this drawer either. These top ones probably don't open. They don't. That's the edging work underneath here. It goes all the way around. If you never pull this cabinet out, you would never know. If you never got down on your hands and knees, you would never know. But it looks pretty good. Maybe it's paint that I'm smelling, not mold. There's a smell in here. The room looks great. I have no concerns whatsoever outside of a weird smell. All right, coming into this room. Once again, small room. With the way this is cut out, that is your radon mitigation system. So that's going to stay into that closet. So the way this comes out, you have a little bit more space over here, but the rest of the room is super duper small. Let me come on in. So the space that I'm standing in right now, you could fit a twin bed in this space. To give you an idea. Let's take a look this way. That space there, actually you might even be able to fit a full in there. It's a little bit wider than a twin bed. You do have the double doors for the closet, no built-ins or anything like that in there. Again, radon mitigation system, bunching carpet everywhere, a little bit of discoloration over here. These, I don't think you can actually see it, but the, here. You can kind of see how the carpet's bunched. Walls down here look good. There's a little bit of a seam right here. Doesn't look like settling or water damage or anything like that though. There's some texturing issues down here that the texture looks a little different. Anytime I see differences in texture, it causes me to think something was done differently. There's bubbling into the paint over there, little patch job right there. A lot of different texturing in this room. And also there is that linear seam right there that it's not soft. That was a big thought. When it starts like looking like that, where it's like right about here, where it's kind of bubbly, sometimes it's soft. And then, but I pushed on pretty good and nothing. This little edge here, now we're getting super nitpicky. Do you see how tight it is right here? And then as we go up, do you see how wide the gap is up here? So maybe 1/4 inch up there, maybe 1/8 of an inch down here. So what that looks like to me is the door is not straight. Could be a sign of settling. I'm not seeing anything crazy though. And then you do have this seam right here. Okay, my overall opinion of this house. It's a nice house. Bedrooms are all small. Some of the craftsmanship is not up to our standard. The bunching carpet is everywhere. Every single piece of carpet in this house you need to repair. You do have some newer HVAC stuff. Water, I'm not too terribly really worried about water. Honestly, this door is not needed. So carpets, the kitchen, super small. Living room upstairs, like if you're entertaining, super small. 1 car garage, I believe that was 1 car. Let's look at one more time, shall we? 2 car garage out here. Lots of extra storage up top. Looks like the guy knows what he's doing with the way these walls look out here. Not a bad house. No access to the backyard from inside. Great neighborhood. I really don't have much more else to say. It's an okay house. Don't like the Formica counters. Okay, I'm done talking about this house. It's an okay house. Would be not a bad first time home. With that, I will shut up and we'll talk about other houses. Bye-bye.